So apparently the woman that owns the Airbnb where I'm staying right now has a room to rent just next door, and it's available, and I could have it for about $200 for a month. So it's a pretty good coincidence because today is quite rainy. I don't really feel like going around in the rain trying to find a place. So I'm just gonna go next door and check it out. I follow the leader. It's here. This is the room. Hello. It looks nice. We'll take off my shoes.
Nói rồi, hôm nào cũng ở đây du lịch, nhưng mà không đi du lịch ở đây thì 100 một buổi. Dạy thì 100 một buổi. Chứ bây giờ nó đi chơi rồi.
Vâng, bây giờ...
Bây giờ này cũng không đi du lịch.
Hôm nay ạ?
Cũng không đi du lịch.
Nope. Just the bathroom. Where's the shower? Where's the shower? I can't find the shower. Oh. The shower is behind the door. That's the storage. All right, I'm back in my room. So I checked out this place right next door, and as you can see, the room is not bad. It's very simple, very minimalistic. The issue I have is that, and I didn't really film it because it made me uncomfortable, is that the kitchen or the kind of the shared space that would be available in other apartments on the ground floor are pretty much used by the family owning the building. So I think it'd make me uncomfortable to just go down and cook myself something or just put some stuff in their fridge. And there's no fridge or any possible ways to cook stuff in that small room. So the fact that I don't really have access to a real apartment is like living in a hotel for a couple of months, and I don't really like that. I probably won't cook very much, but I like to have the option to do it if ever, it's raining outside. Maybe I'll just cook myself some rice or some instant noodles or whatever I feel like, and there I feel like I'd be confined into this little room. Now the price of this room is about $215 a month, plus the electricity and water expenses, which are in average around 200 or 300,000 Vietnamese dong. It all depends on how much electricity you use, mostly how much air conditioning you use, because that's really the big electricity consuming thing in the room. I'm just not sure I want to feel like I'm living in someone else's home and feel like I'm not really home but just a guest all the time. So I'm gonna have to think about that. So far, those are my options. I was just told by the owner of this Airbnb that I have to vacate my room by tomorrow because someone else booked the room for 3 days and I didn't book it. I just kind of overstayed and paid them extra. So I guess I kind of have to make up my mind tonight or tomorrow morning. I mean, I could just move to a different room temporarily. I just don't feel like moving my luggage from day to day. I just want to find a place and settle. Worst case, I pick a place that's not perfect, but I just stay there for a couple of months and then I move on to the next thing. So that's it. Like I was saying, I didn't have much time. I had to make up my mind quickly, so I just ended up picking one. Now, because this is kind of a short episode, I thought I'd give you some more background information or context when it comes to looking for an apartment in Hanoi. First thing, like I said before, I think the best way to find an apartment is through word of mouth, or even better, if you have a local friend that can help you look around and ask around, because not knowing the city and the language barrier might really play against you. But if you're like me and you don't know anyone, you don't have a big budget, and you don't have much time to plan in advance, then I think Facebook remains the best source. Now, before moving to Vietnam, I looked online at different websites to see what I could find what kind of price range to expect, and I thought that whatever I was able to find on those websites was not very interesting for the price they were asking. Now, like I said in the first episode of this series, Facebook can also be a great source of scammers and spammers. You'll find a lot of people trying to get you to deal with companies or sending you to another website. Just don't. I posted an ad on a housing Facebook group just to show you. And you see, within minutes of posting my ad, you already have someone commenting with a link for me to click on to send me to another website. Then you'll have a bunch more following with a bunch of different links, but they're all leading to the same crappy website. And trust me, I tried it. But you'll also have some people contacting you privately, and that's where I found the most success. Best is to deal with individuals and not with companies. I also quickly realized that the people who I thought were agents, the people who took me to visit different apartments, are not actually agents, but owners or managers of different apartment buildings. So they're not charging you anything, even if you find an apartment or rent an apartment through them. Unlike what I had to deal with in Shanghai, where I was being charged 30% of a month's rent, and in Shenzhen, where it was 50% of a month's rent that was being charged if I signed a lease through an agent. At least here, it's not costing you anything more. Now, about Facebook, I'd also recommend you to look at ads that other people are posting. People looking for someone to take over their lease or just for someone to rent their place. You'll find some very interesting deals this way. But again, time is a huge factor. If you're rushing like I was, your options will be very limited. I think the options I found and the places I visited were not bad, but if I had more time and a little bit more of a flexible budget, I think I would have been able to find much better places. Let me show you a few examples. After a little bit of research, I found this one. It seems nice. It's not very big, but it looks clean. It looks a little bit more modern than the one I visited in the last episode. It seems to have multiple windows and a decent amount of light coming in. It looks clean. It has a larger fridge. And the rent was $255 a month. Next, I found a couple of studio apartments that were a little bit more expensive. They were both around $300, but they looked very nice, very modern and clean. Both have a very large window with a lot of light coming in, a very large bed, and a proper kitchen corner, which is not something I've seen in most studio apartments. But they're both around $300 a month, while my initial budget was around $200. Now this last one is probably the best deal I found. It's not as good looking and as modern as the previous two, but I think it still looks good. It looks clean. And what's special about this one is that the bedroom is actually separate from the kitchen, dining room, living room area, which makes it more kind of a one-bedroom apartment rather than a studio. And it was only $230 a month. Damn, the sunset came much faster than I thought. I think I won't need those from now on. So yeah, like you saw in the examples, for just a little bit more, it's possible for you to find something really decent. I even have a Vietnamese friend who found a studio apartment that was bigger than the one I visited in the last episode. It was better located, and it was only $175. So yeah, time really helps. But it's always possible to just find a room temporarily and move to somewhere quickly, even if it's not perfect. It's going to cost you much less than staying in a hotel room, and then you can keep looking over the following months to find something even better. I just didn't feel like doing that at the time. I just wanted to find a place quickly to settle and just, enjoy my life in Hanoi. So that's it. I hope you found this little informative segment interesting. Not something I usually do, not really what my channel is about, but I thought it could be interesting here. Now, after watching these 3 videos, can you guess which place I ended up picking? If you think you know, let me know in the comment section below. And if you want a hint, you can go check my solo B-roll challenge video, and you might be able to know which apartment I ended up picking. Let me know if you found out, and if you're not subscribed to my channel already, do it! I'm telling you, there's gonna be a lot more about Vietnam and other places, and follow me on Instagram if you wanna see funny, cringe, interesting, weird things I encounter here and there, and I'll catch you in the next video. And I would like to say a huge thank you to all my Patreon supporters. You guys rock. Your support means so much to me. Once again, I thank you so much.